Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Miss Maggie from the Discovery Center Museum in Rockford, Illinois. As part of our Playful Learning at Home, we are going to explore and navigate the nighttime sky. The nighttime sky is a place where we can gaze into the stars and travel back in time to an age before computers, tablets, movies, and even video games. A time when most people didn't even know how to read. When the ancient Greeks looked to the stars, they drew stories in the night sky that told of heroes and legends. Among the most famous of these stories is none other than Hercules, the son of Zeus, the Greek god of thunder and lightning. Hercules is known as a demigod, which meant that he was half god, half human. Zeus loved his son Hercules very much, which made his wife, the goddess Hera, very jealous and angry with Hercules. So much so that she sent two deadly snakes to hurt baby Hercules. What Hera didn't know at the time was that Hercules was born with a superpower. Hercules had super strength. Using just his hands, baby Hercules choked the snakes, saving himself. As Hercules grew older, his super strength made him famous as a hero. Hera grew even more jealous, so she sent her pet Leo, the lion, to terrorize a nearby village. Leo was not a nice lion. He bullied all of the villagers, chased the children, and stole everyone's left sock. Hercules went to rescue this village from the sock-stealing lion. But when Hercules arrived, the villagers tried to warn him that Hercules had a superpower of his own. Leo had impenetrable skin, meaning that no sword, arrow, or weapon of any kind could cut through his fur. "Ha!" Hercules exclaimed. "I can handle this. I have super strength. His fur is no match for me." With that, Hercules marched up to the lion, took out his great club, and smashed Leo on the nose, breaking his favorite club. But do you think that worked? No, Leo was unharmed, but became very angry. Leo growled and he snarled and pounced on Hercules, knocking him onto the ground. Hercules was forced to wrestle Leo with his bare hands. With much effort, Hercules was able to subdue the giant lion, not wanting to leave without a prize. Our hero decided to use the lion's own claw to cut the fur so that Hercules could turn the lion's fur into his own impenetrable armor. Hera was very sad and upset that her poor lion was beaten by Hercules, and decided that Leo needed a special place to be remembered. She scooped up her pet lion and threw him up into the night sky. Now, even more enraged by Hercules, Hera decided to send another beast after him. This time, she sent her deadly pet water snake, Hydra. Hydra was no ordinary snake. It had not one, but 7 heads, each carrying a deadly venom. One bite could mean the end for our hero, but this did not stop Hercules. Hercules approached the swamp where the Hydra lived, pulled out his mighty sword, and with a swing of his blade cut off one of the 7 heads. Hera watched from a distance and roared with laughter as the Hydra grew back 2 more heads in the place where Hercules had cut off the first. If you thought Hercules had learned his lesson this time, you would be mistaken. Hercules continued to cut and slash away at the many heads of Hydra until he had not 7, but dozens of deadly, venomous heads hissing and snapping at him. Hera couldn't be more amused. She thought this was hilarious and decided to make matters even worse for Hercules. This time, sending her giant pet crab to surprise Hercules from behind. Hercules turned just in time to see rising from the murky waters a giant crab, foam dripping from its mouth and razor-sharp claws clicking as it approached Hercules. Lifting his arm high above his head, Hercules brought the hilt of his sword down hard on the crab, smashing its shell. Hera couldn't believe it. Hercules had defeated another one of her pets. Without hesitation, she scooped up her pet crab and threw Cancer into the night sky to give poor Leo company. Hercules realized he needed help, so he asked his best friend and his nephew, Iolaus. "Here, uncle, what are you doing?" said Iolaus. "We can't keep cutting the heads of Hydra when two more grow back. I have an idea. I'm going to use a torch, and this time, when you cut the heads away, I will make sure they can't grow back." With that, Hercules continued to cut the heads of Hydra away, but this time Iolaus would burn the Hydra with the torch, keeping it from being able to grow any more heads. Finally, when all that was left was Hydra's last and immortal head, the beast gave up and collapsed into the swampy waters. Hera was devastated that her pet Hydra was defeated. She scooped the Hydra up and threw him into the night sky alongside his friends Leo and Cancer. For the final test to prove himself a hero, Hercules had to go on a quest. Hercules' task was to retrieve not one, but two golden apples. These golden apples were special. If you ate one, it could make you younger, stronger, heal your wounds, and if you kept eating them, they could make you live forever. The challenge, however, was that they only grew on one tree. A wedding gift from Zeus to Hera. Hera knew how special these apples were and didn't want to share them with anyone. So she tasked her strongest pet to keep guard under the tree, Draco the dragon. Draco would spend all day and all night asleep under the tree and would only let a few approach. Hercules found the tree, but when he approached, Draco awoke and attacked our hero. For the first time, Hercules realized he could not win this battle. Draco was too strong, and Hercules had to run away. Hercules needed to ask for help, this time from the only person he knew Draco liked. Hercules went to find the great Titan, Atlas. Now, the Titans were older than the gods. A long time ago, the gods had a war with the Titans, and the gods won. Zeus gave each Titan a different punishment. For Atlas, Zeus punished him to hold the whole world on his shoulders. Never once was Atlas to put the world down. Hercules came to the spot where Atlas held the world and asked, "Atlas, I've been set on this quest to retrieve two golden apples, but Draco the dragon's too strong for me. I can't get to the tree. What can I do?" "Ha! It would be no trouble for me to retrieve those apples for you, Hercules," Atlas said with a grin. "There's just one problem. I can't set the world down or move from this spot. I'll tell you what. If you take the world off my shoulders for a minute, I will retrieve the apples for you." Hercules agreed. Atlas gladly lifted the world off of his own shoulders and handed it to Hercules. Hercules could not believe how heavy it was. It took all of his strength to keep from being crushed. Atlas did as he promised and retrieved the apples. However, Atlas enjoyed being able to run free again and didn't want to go back to work. "You've returned," Hercules grunted. "Quick, I don't know how much longer I can hold this." "What are you talking about, Hercules?" Atlas said with a grin. "You're doing great. You know, I think I'm going to let you keep doing such a great job. I'm going to get a glass of lemonade." "Well, okay," Hercules said. "But could you, before you go, do me one last favor? You see, the world is really heavy, and it's really starting to hurt my shoulders. Do you think, just for a minute, you could, take it back? so that I could put a pillow or something on my shoulders? Then I'll take it right back. You promise? Promise. Okay, but you have to take it right back. Of course, said Hercules. Atlas set the golden apples down on the ground and lifted the whole world off of Hercules' shoulders. Hercules, free from holding the whole world, took the apples and ran. He had tricked Atlas, making Atlas very angry, but there was nothing he could do. He was stuck. When Hera had learned that Hercules had stolen 2 of the golden apples, she was furious and punished her sleepy dragon by throwing him up into the northern sky, where he would be forced to keep watch over the sky all year long, never being allowed to rest again. Zeus, who couldn't be more proud of his son proving himself as a hero, decided that he deserved a spot among the stars, and placed him kneeling over the dragon's head in triumph for all to see. The end.
Subscribe for more daily science, crafts, and activities, or visit the Discovery Center Museum Playful Learning at Home webpage for more information.